Okay. All right. Hello. We're going to talk about Ladybird and how to bop over it. We're going to talk over some secrets of improvisation, which I guess I wish someone told me when I started out, because these things that I'm going to talk about are quite valuable, I'd say. I really like them. And there's stuff, it's literally stuff that I use like all the time, especially when I improvise, and like when I look at chords, I can kind of, these are stuff that always goes through my mind, like how would I do that? How would I like connect those chords, and like what kind of chord is related to that chord, and what arpeggio can I play? Like those are stuff that just instantly comes into mind when I kind of like analyze a song. Okay, so let's go to the first slide that I made. Use minor conversion to sound bop. Okay, so minor conversion. What is minor conversion? Someone might ask. Well, minor conversion is basically to convert whatever it is you're playing to minor. Okay, so that means everything is related in some way to a minor scale, basically. So I'd say if you have a C major 7, which it starts on C major 7, right? So it starts on the fifth of C major, right? And if we're gonna think a minor conversion over that, which I usually do when I try to make lines, because it's easier for me to think for some reason, like more think of this as like A minor. Isn't that like, it's a cooler sound. So that's basically what minor conversion is. You find your ways into like, oh, okay, so I can play A minor, Dorian. You get that sharp 11. So imagine you have, okay, so I'm just thinking A minor. So that's one way to like think about the first chord. You can just think basically A minor. You can also think E minor, like, which is thinking almost, that's like thinking G major. But in thinking of other chords, basically, in thinking about the minor scale, what happens is now instead of thinking, oh, C major scale, you're thinking, oh, A minor scale. So you see how that was just me thinking A minor, so I just automatically went to the 9th of C major, because that was like, my mind was like focusing on A minor, but in reality, you're hitting the right chord tones now. So that's like a really valuable thing that I've learned. So that was the first chord, okay? So you can like think A minor, but in reality, I think the best thing is when it comes to the other chords. So when you're actually at like the next chord, which is F minor, B flat 7, right? So it's da, 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 F minor to B flat 7, back to C major, okay? So that will be, so that's really nice. And what you can think about in the F minor is literally you can just think F minor Dorian. I like to do that. You don't have to think about the B flat 7 as of now. Just think about the F minor, okay? That's what Pat Martino would do, okay? And we like Pat Martino. So basically what you would do then is you would play the C major, and then you would go to the F minor. So you would play, maybe you'd play like A minor over the C major. that would be like the F minor thing to do. But the thing is, when you learn linear expressions lines, when you learn like lines from the book Pat Martino did, which is called Linear Expressions, then you will actually realize that, like, can you play F minor from here? That, like, you want to have those lines. You know why? Look how close they are to C. So imagine you have da, 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 da. So that was just me playing F minor ideas. But in reality, I was playing A flat major. I was thinking more A flat major, because A flat, that is like the first inversion of F minor. If you go up a minor third, you have that major sound, the major, like A flat major. If that makes sense, like that is the way to do the minor conversion, like think in minor conversion, because instead of being like, oh, C major scale, oh, F major, I have to, like, you have to move your hand. That's not the way to do it. You want to do it like this. So I was just thinking F minor, but in this position. I think that's the one key to playing bebop lines, is to, like, don't move your hands. That makes it like, oh, I have to go to F minor here because I learned it there. No, if you learn F minor, like, and then you're like, okay, and then the third of C, and then you're back, okay? So that's also the next slide, which I'm going to talk about, if that makes sense, that, like, minor conversion, like, go more deep into minor conversion, because that is the one thing that made me, like, feel more free, like, on the fretboard playing jazz. So yeah, I really recommend using minor conversion. And the next secret is become a chord tone master, which goes into the same, like, it's the same concept in a way. So becoming a chord tone master has to do with knowing where the chord tones are, okay? Because in order to sound bebop, you know what they do? They do this kind of thing, like, okay? You know, that's the sound. That's the sound. It's chord tones. Like, it's, first of all, it's language. Like, that was what I played, is kind of a part of the language of jazz, like jazz, bebop. But in order to sound bebop, you need to realize what the language is, like, where is the language derived from? What makes it sound language? Well, it is to find the notes that spell out the chord, okay? So basically, to know where the third and the fifth of the note, like, start with those two. Can you tell me where, like, if I play a C major, do you know where the fifth and the third is everywhere on the guitar? Because if you do, that will save you a lot of time trying to practice stuff which doesn't really matter. Like, imagine you have a C major, to know that's the fifth, to know that's the fifth, to know that's the fifth. You know, that's really important, because that means wherever you are on the guitar, you can always resolve, because that's what we're going to do. You want to resolve, okay? Okay, where should I go? Oh, okay, I can go to the fifth. Or I can do... And now pivoting. I went to the third instead. Do that. Third. One. Like the root. So kind of get that thing. Like, imagine you have, like, a phrase that goes... And then you can choose either to go to the fifth, or third, or... Okay? So utilize the chord tones and try to make this, like, do try to like train yourself to be able to have multiple ways to move around on the guitar. Okay, that's the key here. Okay, so you want to be able to like, okay, you want to be able to choose different locations to go, because if you're like only practicing stuff in one area, well, that's not going to make you free when you improvise. That's not going to give you that like flow state feeling of being able to be free, play wherever you want. You want to be able to like, okay, that was the first part. So if I could do da, 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 fifth of C, right? Fifth of A flat. And now, okay, so now I'm here, fifth of A flat. And then it goes to A minor D7, right? Like, how would I do that? Okay, so I know A minor is basically just me moving here. Okay, so that's what, like, I would do that. And then I know my A minor stuff, like I know that. Okay, so I know that's like I'm in the A minor, C major 7, A minor area here, right? So I can do all kinds of stuff now. I can do, and now it goes to D minor. And now what will you do now? You can go, so that's it. Okay, so it's like, you want to be able to like when you feel the most like the what's it called? The feeling you want to strive after when you play is to not move your hands as much as you think. Like that's literally what I can say. So imagine you have like da ba ba ba. You're like, when the chord switches, you want to be like, da, 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 da. Like, do you hear it? Oh, wait. Practice like this, like, use one chord tone, choose one, and you play, like, choose the third, and then play the third of every chord. And do it like, try to be melodic with, don't be like boring and shit. Like try to be melodic. So you have the third of C, okay? Find the third of C everywhere on the guitar. Okay? A little out of tune, that's okay. So find the third of C everywhere, and now you find the third of C on then after that you find the third of F minor. Okay, and try to just play around. You see? That's the third of C, and now I led this third. And that's gonna help me a lot later when I'm like, oh shit. Because I want to go back to the third of C, right? And if I know the third of C everywhere on the guitar, well, that makes it so much easier, right? Like, let's do it here. So just like chord tones is like chord tones, you need them, okay? You really need chord tones. It's like so it's one of the best things ever. And the thing is, now I just talked about the third, but literally think about like doing that. If you do that and you do that with the fifth too, now you do it with the ninth too. If you've done that, then what's stopping you from playing melodic solos? You have the chord tones. Like the thing that makes it melodic is literally chord tones. Like it's literally what spells out the chord. It makes it feel like, you know, that feeling of, oh wow, that sounds melodic. It sounds nice. Well, it's because it's like, get good at chord tones, and then you have it. Okay. So next thing. Oh shit, that was my Wonder Boom. Use one scalar bop phrase over everything to get the hang of it. Yeah, that's really nice. So one scalar bop phrase over everything to get the hang of it. So in order to get the hang of this tune, you want to have a scale, like not a scale per se, but more like a phrase that you just move. And that is just so you can get the hang of the tune. So what I do in this case is I'd use this phrase because it's so like vital. It's so connected to the language. This arpeggio, like C major 7 arpeggio. You got the B, you got the C, you got the third, you got the fifth, major 7. So, da, da, so, da. You get it? Sounds pretty good. It's just an arpeggio, and you can move it. So how it works is over C major, you're basically playing a C major 7 arpeggio. So learn that, and now you have to realize how relationships works, right? So it goes to an F minor. Now you want to know what major 7 arpeggio can I play over F minor? Well, it's A flat. Go up a third from the minor chord. Third. Major 7 arpeggio from third. So you do that same thing. So A flat major arpeggio. Now you go to C major arpeggio again. And now it's B flat minor. It goes to A flat, right? 2, 5, 1 in A flat. So it starts on B flat minor. And B flat minor. You do that same thing. Go up a third. You got D flat now. D flat, okay? From here you play a D flat major 7 arpeggio. Does that make sense? So you have the minor chord, you go up a third, and then that's your major 7 arpeggio. Okay? So from the beginning we have boom da da okay, so that's basically it. And now you're unlocking the tune here because you're just moving one phrase and you're seeing how you can use that phrase. And it's a vital phrase also. It's a really good phrase to have. It's so like, it's like almost having butter, okay? When you're making a sandwich. This is the butter. But then this is the sandwich. Like, then you can continue it, okay? But this is just having the first ingredient, okay? So that's awesome to have that when you're practicing. Okay, so we had... Okay, A flat, you just do the A flat, as you did before. And then A minor, we go up a third to C. Exactly as we did. And then D minor, we go up a third to F. So I'm doing it from here. and then it goes. So it goes, and then it goes back to C, right? And then it goes to E flat. So the last two bars is literally. If you know the tune, you know that thing. So it's C major, E flat, A flat, D flat, C major. So what you want to do is you want to do so you want to go up and do the same thing a minor third up. So the last part would be let's do it from the A minor. Actually, I would say let me just do it from the beginning. So I would skip the last C major, and I would just play the E flat. So you're doing an E flat major 7 arpeggio. Okay? And when you've done that, you'll be so much more free, because then, after that, that will be like the start of you starting to play melodic, because then you will be able to like start like I'm just telling you, start practicing like that. You will start playing stuff that's actually like so much. I enjoy playing like that, so I guess you would do too. Okay, let's go to the next slide. A thing about chromaticism that will change your playing. Use it wherever. Okay? Use it wherever. And I mean that when I say that, okay? Use it wherever. Because chromaticism is... I mean, let's be honest. Does jazz have rules? I mean, does it? Maybe. Some rules. But who the fuck cares? Like, does it... I think Duke Ellington said... Was it Duke Ellington that said... I think Duke Ellington said, yeah. If it sounds good, it sounds good. And it's literally that. Okay? If it sounds good, it sounds good. That doesn't mean you should go around being like... not learning the guitar, not learning how to play melodic, okay? Because it's still, that's the way to sound good. But remember, you have to let that shit go and don't think about theory. Like, don't be that guy that's being like, oh, but the theory says this, because those guys didn't do that. Like, the theory was literally like people be inventing bebop scales, and like, it's because we always want to like kind of make sense of what the guys did, but in reality, what the guys did, they just played stuff that kind of resolved. Okay, and then it's a bebop scale, but in reality, they weren't thinking about that. So what I want to say with this is try to use chromaticism in a way that's like just resolve it. Okay. I don't know. I'm just going to take a note. I don't know, maybe it's not the... Just sit with your guitar, try to... You know the most important thing with this? Like, it's not just playing like random notes. It's about resolving. It's like, what story are you telling before you resolve to a chord tone? Okay? Chord tone. Story. this, like, when you're at this part, you can like say stuff, okay? Before it goes back home. You don't want to be saying stuff when you're home, okay? Your mom will get mad, okay? Don't say stuff. But home, okay? You see what I'm saying here? It's like, yeah, and you can basically play whatever as long as you resolve it. That's basically what I have to say. That will make you so free when you play with people, because you will be like, you will be free because you realize you don't have to play in a certain way. You just resolve that shit, okay? Like, I can play E flat major 7 over C major. As long as I resolve it. I can play A major 7 over F minor. It actually works pretty well. As long as you resolve it, you're fine. So start resolving, okay? And then what you'll see is you will start getting free. Like, you will be able to get into flow state much easier. And that's basically what I have to say. If you want to level up for real, like have private lessons with me, have a private community. I just started the community. You can join it now, and we'll get your like playing to the next level, and you will also be around people who want the same thing as you. Okay? So we get better at guitar, we get better at ourselves, we get better at self-improvement, we get better at many things. And we do that inside of this community. And it's beautiful. So do that. And I'm going to end with playing some Ladybird. Now go practice. Bye-bye.